In the last video, we looked at adding content to static pages, namely the Woven and Tufted homepage. We also looked at adding content that will appear site-wide, such as the top and bottom bars on the Woven and Tufted site. In this video, we're going to continue adding content to static pages, but we're also going to look at adding images to pages as well. So jumping back into Yetti Administrator, the page I'm going to have a look at is the About page. So I'm going to open the About page and I'm going to edit the index page. Let me just log in here and I will do that again. So here you can see a couple of different bits of information, and there's one extra field which you didn't see on the home page. You've got a title, an intro and a body. Now I'm going to take a minute here to explain about the different types of text input fields you can have, because as you can see there's two types on here and they look a little different. This first section, the title in this case, has no text formatting options. So you can't make text in here bold, you can't make it italic, you can't change the style of it, it's just plain text. And that's called a string. Usually we use strings for short bits of information, generally 1 or 2 sentences. They're not extended bits of information, they're not going to be multiple paragraphs, it's just short snippets of text which are usually used for titles or blog article summaries, that kind of thing. And then the section which you should be familiar with by now is a larger text area field. And it's this field that has all your formatting options. You can embolden text, you can italic text, you can add bullet points, and you can do that in these larger sections. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the title of this page to About Woven and Tufted. And the introduction text, we're going to use the same text that we did for the home page. So we can copy and paste that into here. Let's make it bold and italic. And then for the body of the page, let's copy and paste the same text here. Give it a bit of formatting. I'm not going to make this section bold and italic because we've already got an introduction section here. But what I am going to do, which will be new to you, is I'm going to add an image to this body section. And the way I'm going to do that is simply by clicking the image button at the top of the page. So this brings up what we call a modal, and it's basically just a pop-up window which appears over the page, and you can see a little bit more information and you can interact with the page in a few different ways. So if you've already got a selection of images that you want to add to a page, maybe you've already set up images on a different page of the site or in a different section, and you want to use another image that you've already uploaded, you can find all the pictures which are already on the website here. So you can go through them, you can select them, you can choose which image that you want to take a look at. Or alternatively, you can add a new image. And that's what I'm going to do this time. So I've already got a file that I want to add to this page. So I've chosen my file, and now I'm going to give it a URL name. Now, a URL name really is never going to be seen by anyone. It's just there so that that Yetti can save your image with a unique name. Now normally the name of the image that you've uploaded is pre-filled out as the URL name, but you can change this to whatever you want. So in this case I'm going to call it Nice Carpet. And then the name of the image, again I'm going to call it Nice Carpet. Now you'll notice that I've typed those phrases in a couple of different ways. The URL name is lowercase and hyphenated. So there's no spaces, there's no capital letters, and that's generally best practice. If you do happen to put capitals or spaces in here, Yetti will automatically change those to lowercase and hyphenated when it saves it, but it's just good practice to do it yourself if you can do. And the name obviously will be used for alternative text and to categorise the image in the assets section of the website. Now you don't need to worry about that assets section at the minute because we'll be talking about that in a later video, but just so you can introduce yourself to it, that goes in there. So I'm going to save that asset now. And now Yetti should ask me what size I want my image to be. So I'm going to use the asset as is, And now I want that image to be full width, so I believe it was 544 and the height was 306. So I can define that in there, and now my image will appear above the text. So that's really all there is to it. I can save and publish that page, and then going back on to the Woven and Tufted website, let's select About Us, and there you have the title of the page. There's my introduction paragraph, my introduction sentence, should I say. There's my image, and there's also the body text, which I entered.